8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the freaking frogs gay. Do you understand that? Turn the freaking frogs gay. Serious crap.
Oh, yeah. That always gets me pumped up. Hello, Jollifer.
Good evening.
There we go. There we go. I was like,
gotta keep you in suspense.
Yeah, the suspense is real. It's another wonderful Friday night. Things are just going so well in the world right now. There's not a problem in the world. Everything's great. Everybody's just doing...
Hey, the Dow is at 50,000 is all.
So what more do you need to know? Who cares?
I don't know what that means. I have never known what that means.
I don't know. It means something to people who are better off than we are. That's what that means. But I don't know. But that's okay. Just do your best not to go trans, and you'll be fine. I think. I haven't read the comments on that video. I don't know if I pissed anybody off. I made the video title so that it would like intentionally sound like it would intentionally sound like, hey, maybe somebody, get some lefties in there thinking somebody's going trans, and then just fucking flip it on them when they start watching and see what I'm actually talking about. So we'll see. I don't know. I haven't had a chance. I'll be honest. And this actually bothers me. So I apologize in advance. Not in advance. I apologize. I've, in the last couple of years, gotten really, really bad about responding to comments on videos that I post. And it used to be like the thing I loved them. It's what got me on YouTube in the first place. You know what I mean? Which was like interacting with people. And I'm really bad about it fucking now. So I haven't checked the comments on that video, but we'll see what happens. Oh, already got a couple super chats here. Practical Bacon says, go to any hockey games lately? Not yet. You gotta wait till the full transition takes place before you go to a hockey game. Manuel says, paid for my used P320 today. Applause, please. Yes. Yeah. Actually, isn't there I think we have like sound effects on here now. Isn't there sound effects? Yeah, here we go.
God.
There we go.
For a second, I thought I was in a thunderstorm under a tin roof.
Yeah. I think we have sound effects. I forgot about that. We have sound effects on StreamYard now. There's a handful of them. But anyway. Yep. So I posted this meme today, which, by the way, for anybody wondering, everything I post on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, none of it's fucking mine. And I do not, somebody got mad at me. Somebody left a comment on one of the things I posted on Facebook or something. I don't fucking know. I don't know, because when I post on Facebook, it automatically goes to Instagram, Mm-hmm. I don't know where they fucking commented, but they were mad. They're like, you just steal other people's memes and post them. I'm like, motherfucker, I never claimed I'm making these memes. All I use Facebook and Instagram and Twitter for is to share shit that I thought was funny or relevant. Like, dude was acting like I was saying fucking, I made this fucking meme or whatever. I'm like, motherfucker, first of all, I never said that. I don't fucking post any of this shit. Like, look what you know what I mean? Most of the time I just post a fucking picture. 99% of the time, I don't even write anything in there about the thing I'm posting. I just post stuff that I think is relevant or funny. So yeah, if you're one of those people, which I don't think anybody is, if you're one of those people that gets offended thinking I'm fucking trying to steal memes and make people think they're mine, I'm not. I don't give a shit. Like they're not mine. I don't fucking come up with any of that shit. I'm not that. I don't have the time to sit there and come up with fucking memes. Thank God for the people who do, that I can share them with everybody. Like, you get butthurt about the stupidest fucking shit. Jesus Christ. Anyway, I don't even know where I was going with that. I know there was a point to the beginning of that rant, and now I don't know what the hell it was. So, you know, good times. Oh, Lord. Oh, I gotta catch up on some videos. There's like some videos I want to make after all this. I'm going into my last week of cop school, and there's so much that I have learned in these classes that I've been taking for the last few weeks. That and none of the fun stuff, right? Like the fun stuff, like when we do weapons training or defensive tactics and stuff like that, like that's all kind of fun, but it's not really worth making a fucking video about, because Jesus Christ, there's 37,000 people on YouTube telling you how to shoot a fucking gun, or you know, how to fucking train and shit like that. And I don't do that type of shit anyway. I swear to God, some of the shit that I find, like, so this is my law book, right, for training. It's like 422 pages of laws that you have to fucking learn about all kinds of shit, man. You got to go through law code, and we got to learn fucking criminal procedures and felony law and misdemeanor law and fucking constitutional law. That's a fun one, especially when you disagree with half the shit the teacher spews out of their fucking mouth. And juvenile law, like it's just all kinds of shit, dude.
It's
and
all
I have
statutes and like
just all kinds of fucking
reference.
stuff. There's a whole section in here on just the court system in Michigan. You know, we did a whole this is one of the things I want to make a video on. We did a whole so there's this dude, and you can actually look him up. His name's Victor Loria, and he's a pretty nationwide famous. Like, he's been featured on National Geographic, and he's worked with the FBI and shit on several of their cases. He's like a renowned interrogator, right? And he's based here in Michigan, and he teaches the interview and interrogation class for the for the academy. And so we did a day and a half with him teaching interrogations and interviews and stuff like that. And what's funny is the first thing, so like within the first 30 minutes of him being in class, and then he said this, and then he's like, and now we'll do the class and you'll know why. But one of the first things he said, and I want to make a video on this, because this comes from a dude who, this is literally what he does. Fucking, like, you know, not just in Michigan, but like he helps the FBI with interviews and interrogations on criminals, right? And like I said, he's on a National Geographic documentary for one of his cases that he worked on. Anyway, one of the first things he said was, I'm gonna tell you right now, here's a tip: never talk to the cops. He goes, I don't give a shit if you're guilty or not. Don't do an interview with the cops, and don't ever fucking do an interrogation with the cops. Get a fucking lawyer. And he said, guess why? Because once we start talking to you, that's it. If we want to fuck you, we can fuck you. And he said it just like that. He said, if we want to fuck you, we can fuck you. He goes, do not ever talk to the cops. And he's like, and as we go through this class, you'll figure out why. Dude, at one point, he played the whole Christine Blasey Ford. Remember that? Christine Blasey Ford testifying in front of the Senate against Kavanaugh. Like, he played that whole like statement and shit that she did, and he was like, okay, watch this, watch this, watch this, watch this. And he would just stop the video and go, this is how I know she's fucking lying. This is how I know she doesn't really remember that. This is how it, like, and he was just breaking it down. And then he did the one on the fucking Bill Clinton, when Bill Clinton was getting interviewed about Monica Lewinsky.
The famous interview, like, I
Yeah.
did not have.
Yeah. And dude, I caught watching that with him saying, okay, now watch his eyes here and watch this and watch that. Dude, because I mean, dude, I'm old enough. I remember when that shit got first fucking put on television back in like 1998 or whatever. But dude, rewatching it again with him breaking the shit down, I caught so much shit that I'd never fucking noticed before. Like when he brings up, like when the lawyer brings up, like fucking, if you ever get a chance to go watch that again and just watch Bill Clinton's eyes when Bill Clinton thinks he's in the clear because fucking, he's like, I've never told anybody this, and Monica's never told anybody this, and then the fucking lawyer brings up fucking well, is it true that you used a cigar as a sexual toy or whatever the fuck he says? And Bill Clinton's eyes and his face in that moment for like a split second, when you're paying attention to it, is just this look of like, how the fuck did he know that? Like,
His poker face broke for that split
yeah,
second.
for just a fucking split second. Because I've watched that before and I never caught it before. Anyway, the dude was really fucking good. Like, we learned a lot of shit. There's like, I think 22 people in my class, and we learned a lot of shit that, I mean, just all kinds of stuff that you've never fucking, like, you know, if you don't do this, I'm sure cops know about this because they all have to take classes like this and shit. You know what I mean? But like me, fuck, the first time I'm ever fucking learning any of this shit. But the stuff we learned about interrogations and fucking interviews and all the shit they were going through about how to tell when people are lying and how to conduct an interview, like it was actually one of the better classes. I enjoyed it quite a bit, and the dude was really cool. And I like the fact that he's like a fucking cop, and he's like, the first thing he said was, don't ever fucking talk to a cop. He's like, don't do it. Just don't do it. If they want to bring you in for an interview, say no, talk to my lawyer. If they want to bring you in for an interrogation, say no, talk to my lawyer. Don't fucking say anything to the cops. And I was like, I respect that, sir. I respect that.
Yeah, because a lot, and I'm sure you could speak to this more, and my understanding is a lot of the laws of like what gets turned inadmissible and all these things is not necessarily like, oh, they could not question you before your lawyer is. How do they phrase and get it out of you before the lawyer shows up?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Dude, it's crazy. And the stuff, because like, this is a dude who does this all over the country, right? Like, he's fucking really, really good. And he was basically just telling us all the little tricks about how to fucking, like, this is how I can, this is how, how I can tell when somebody's lying. This is how I can fucking get back somebody into a corner. He's like, even if necessarily they might not have done anything wrong, but I can, just by doing this, and this, I can make somebody's story not line up anymore. Even if they didn't do anything wrong. Like, it's fucking crazy shit. It really makes you not trust the fucking cops. I'm telling you, all that doing this has done has made me not trust cops even more than I already didn't trust cops. And the other thing, and I guess I had never really, I've got cops in my family, but the conversations never really come up. I don't really, you know what I mean? How often do you sit there and have in-depth conversations about the law with police officers and things like that? And we were going through our fucking law class, and they got to Miranda rights and shit. And the guy who's there, he's an ex-cop who's been a prosecutor for almost 30 years, right? Teaching the class. And we were talking about Miranda rights, and he's like, so how many people, like, he was asking the class, like, so when do you think cops need to, have a requirement, a legal constitutional requirement to read you your Miranda rights. And of course, everybody in the class, is like, well, yeah, when you get arrested. And he's like, no. He's like, we don't need to read you your Miranda rights. He's like, there's no legal requirement anywhere in this country for us to have to read you your Miranda rights. The only time we care about Miranda rights is if we think we're either going to ask you something or you're going to volunteer any information that we might want to use in court. He's like, if whatever you're doing or saying or whatever the fuck we're arresting you for, if we have no interest in either we don't need any information from you personally to fucking throw the book at you, right? Like we've got other witnesses or we saw you do something or whatever the fuck it is, and nothing that you say matters to the reason why we're arresting you. We don't read you your fucking Miranda rights. He's like, that's some bullshit that was made up on fucking TV. He goes, most cops can go through their entire career. Most street cops never once reading anybody their fucking Miranda rights. He's like, when you get read your Miranda rights is if we call you in for an interrogation or an interview because we need information from you to fucking make a case. He's like, other than that, fucking Miranda rights are bullshit. He's like, we don't have to read them to you. I found that very interesting. I never knew that. Never knew that.
Man, that really devolves the plot of Medea Goes to Jail, because that's how she got off on the first ones, because Miranda wasn't even in the room.
That's true. The other thing I learned.
Back for anybody who knows that.
My wife would know that. I've never watched any of those movies, but she's watched all of them obsessively. The other thing I learned was and maybe a lot of the those 1A auditors, those First Amendment auditors you see doing videos on YouTube all the time. Maybe some of them know this because they deal with this more often. But straight up, I had the prosecutor tell me, he's like, because he was asking, do you know what the difference between detainment and an arrest is? He's just kind of asking questions, and a couple people in the class tried to answer. And he's like, here's the difference. The word detainment and arrest. He's like, there is no difference. If we're telling you can't leave, you're basically arrested. He's like, now we may unarrest you by simply saying, okay, you're no longer being detained. He's like, but you don't have to fucking be in handcuffs and in the back of a car to be considered under arrest. If a cop tells you you're fucking detained, you're basically arrested. There's no difference in the law. It's the same thing. We're telling you can't leave. He's like, whether we put handcuffs on you, put you in the back of a car, throw you in a jail cell, or just tell you, stay here, you're detained until I'm done with you. It's all the same fucking thing.
It's actually interesting you say that, because I saw a video yesterday of just this routine traffic stop.
Yeah. And
it was like a couple, and neither one of them had a driver's license. The lady had like a permit, but she was like in her 20s, so that was weird. And he's talking to him, running all their information. And he's like, hey, I'm going to give you a citation because you're driving without a license. But he's like, can you call somebody who can drive? That way we don't have to tow you, trying to be somewhat nice. And they both get out of the car and start like walking. They're like at a truck stop or something, walking to go get in. He's like, hey, y'all cannot leave. I'm not done with you. And he's like, get back in the car. And then they try it again and he arrests both of them.
Yeah.
I was like, y'all not realize that you're in that interaction technically detained because you're...
Yeah. Well, and what's funny about that is, because I've seen some of these 1A auditors, and again, some are better than others, and some probably do know the law better than others and things like that. I've seen 1A auditors sit there in some of these videos and go, am I under arrest? Okay, well then if I'm under arrest, you need to read me your Miranda rights. And they'll go, no, you're being detained. And it's like, okay, first of all, if you're detained, you're essentially under arrest, because all arresting means, according to the law, is you're being restricted from freedom of movement while whatever law enforcement officer or agency is doing whatever they're doing, right? And they don't have to fucking read you your Miranda rights. If they are not concerned with anything that you might say, because it's inconsequential to them because nothing you're going to say is going to be anything that would be used in court, and they don't have to read your Miranda rights. They just do whatever the fuck they want. So just understand, if they say you're being detained, they don't have to read your Miranda rights, and you are essentially, until they unarrest you or undetain you, whatever the fuck they want to call it, you're under arrest in that moment. You are being restricted of freedom. So this is interesting shit I have learned while being in the police academy. Lots of interesting shit. Like I said, and not a single bit of it has made me trust cops more. It is every bit that I have learned has made me trust cops less. Which is hilarious, by the way. I mean, obviously, you know, I'm not in class fucking talking about how I really feel about cops, because that would be stupid, you know. But it is funny. Now, one of the guys who, because there's another guy that works with me who's going at the same time, and he knows. So, like on lunches and shit, we're out there talking about it because he's not as anti-cop as me, but like he understands. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's like, no, I get it. But so we've been talking about it outside of class, but that's it. I got super chat here from Avo. Says, Matt, I want to get the new Kimber 1911 DS Warrior 10mm for EDC home defense. Thoughts? Well, let me just preface this by saying it has been a long time since I have done more than put a couple of rounds through a Kimber. Okay. It's been a while. But and the majority of my experience with Kimber is 10, 15 years ago or more. However, I'm not a fan of Kimber. The worst 1911 I've ever owned, the most picky, finicky, and failure-ridden 1911 I have ever owned was a Kimber. I have known many other people who have owned Kimbers who have had the same experiences that I had with Kimber. Again, that being said, like I said, I preface this with, it's been a long time since I've shot Kimbers, and I've had a couple people tell me that Kimber has gotten better. So I don't want to, you know, hey, look, any company can improve, and if they're doing a better job, awesome, great. My personal experience and opinion on Kimber, until I can, you know, through my own experience, verify this is no longer true. My recommendation is there are much better 1911s out there on the market that cost a lot less. Honestly, I'd buy a Rock Island Armory before I bought a Kimber. Rock Island Armory has been good basically forever. They're way cheaper, and they too offer several different models in a 10mm for a lot less than Kimber sells theirs. Now, what's Kimber going to give you that Rock Island won't? Fit and finish. They're nicer looking guns. But in my experience, which is older experience, they're not as reliable as a Rock Island Armory. So that's my opinion on it. I don't want to, I never want to be the person that prevents you from getting the gun you want. Kimbers are not cheap guns, man. And I would, before I spend that much money on a fucking gun, I would want to make damn sure it's going to be a good, reliable gun. So that's my issue. That's my issue with Kimber. For what it's worth, you know, maybe you've had a bit more recent experience with Kimber. Maybe you even shot that gun that you're interested in, and maybe it is a good gun. Maybe Kimber's cleared up a lot of their problems. I know a lot of people love Kimbers and swear by them. Most of the people I have met in my life that love their Kimbers are people that don't shoot very often. So I don't know how valuable their advice is, but I mean, if there's a way to get a hold of one and shoot it and make sure it is a good, reliable gun beforehand, or maybe if you've got some friends that own modern Kimbers that you can kind of get a feel for if their quality and reliability have improved, I would definitely do that before you go drop that. Because I mean, I don't know what that particular model of Kimber costs, but I can only imagine it's.
I think it's, if it's the one I'm thinking of, it's actually like a new line, like their launch, was previewed at SHOT Show.
Yeah.
If I remember
price
correctly,
ranges on them.
I think it's supposed to be under $1,000 or right at $1,000.
Really? I haven't seen a Kimber under $1,000 in a long time.
And I don't have any experience with modern Kimbers or old Kimber, whatever. But I will say, I have heard they turned it around because they changed leadership a few years ago.
And maybe they have. Again, I don't want to.
The former president or CEO left. Ironically, guess where he went? 6 Sauer.
Oh, okay.
And that's why Sig's in the. You would think after 2 companies, we'd start realizing he's, not good.
Yeah.
But I've heard that they've turned it around.
And maybe they have. Again,
a reviewer I would recommend is Nightwood Guns. He's very honest about stuff. When I think he's trying to get a hold of this line when it comes out. So if you want to wait till he does a review, I would trust what he has to say because he's been very blatantly honest about stuff.
Yeah. Like I said, my personal experience with Kimber is a few years old now. So if they've made some improvements and they're doing a good job now and they've got a new line that's more affordable, that's awesome. So I don't know. I like Tara's comment out here. I have a new test for new friends to figure out where the conversation is going. I ask who Uncle Ted is. They either answer Nugent or Kaczynski. I'm fine either way. I like that. I just posted a meme today about Ted Kaczynski. Ted Kaczynski, we've had a conversation before, and I got to be careful what I say on YouTube. I do not want to come across in any way, shape, or form like I condone any of the horrible things Ted Kaczynski did, because I don't. Not at all. It was wrong and evil and so much other shit. However, if you've ever read his writings and what he was concerned about with the country and the world and the way things were going, he was spot on. Now, he reacted to it poorly because
he could have channeled that energy into something more constructive.
Yes, if he could have channeled that energy into something more productive, it would have been good. But if you ever read, some of his writings and his manifesto and stuff, like, he was not wrong. He was not wrong. So, yeah. Anyway. Tara says his methods were wrong, but he was not. Yeah, exactly. Agarizer says, seeing your post is one of the few highlights of visiting Facebook, which I don't do often. Well, I'm glad. I'm very glad. But yeah. Yep. I would encourage people to read up on his shit. Again, I would like to reiterate.
It's a cautionary tale.
Yes. I do not condone. What he did was horrible and evil, and nobody should do it. However, the things he saw as things going wrong and things that would continue to go wrong in the world, he was not wrong. most of the things that he talked about actually have come to fruition. So I'm just saying, he was a psychotic but intelligent and somewhat astute thinking man. Crazy, psychotic, evil. Let's reiterate all of that. Okay, I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube, but yeah. Anyway, Agorizer says who he did it to was the wrongest. Yeah, I mean, look. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking now. I'm gonna say something that would get myself.
I gotta say this for the Rumble chat.
Yeah, you're right, Agorizer. Yes, you are. I'm not gonna expand upon that and where my mind was originally gonna go and where my mouth was gonna take me. I'll just say you're right, Agorizer. You are very correct. So let's talk about something that won't get us banned or put on a terrorist watch list.
How about forced resets?
Forced resets?
Yeah. Since we're keeping it light and comical. But with that, I did want to mention Tim Hoffman's got his. It's not GoFundMe. It's some other website for his legal battles. Have you kept up with any of this?
Tim Hoffman?
Okay. I'm gonna have to walk you down the trail here a minute. Okay.
I don't know that name. So
you remember Rare Breed, who was the people who originally came out with the forced resets, and they were doing the whole litigation with the ATF.
Yeah.
All right, you remember that ended.
Yes.
And they didn't win; they settled.
Yes.
All right. Tim Hoffman is a guy. He's the guy who came out with like the Orca AR that's all like 3D printed. He made a product called the Super Safety, which is not a like traditional mil-spec safety. It's more of a push button, like it's a crossbolt, and it's different. He originally just released the files to other people and let them sell, but he's now trying to sell his own because he's gotten many cease and desists and lawsuits. One of the people who sued him is Rare Breed, because part of this settlement that they had that Rare Breed had with the ATF, a clause in that was they had to aggressively litigate their patents. So anybody who tried to infringe on their stuff and make their own super safeties, they would have to sue them for patent infringement. Like they are mandated to. They sued Hoffman, even though his design is fairly different. And they went and got a preliminary injunction where he can't do anything.
Is this the website supersafetytriggerusa.com or is this something else? The Super Selector?
There's a lot of them going around right now. Let me see if I can find the right one.
Super Safe. And here's another website. Maybe this one's it.
Here's a link to a website that is the design I'm talking about.
Okay.
I'm gonna put it in this side chat. Well, that's just a freaking copy paste of the word. I don't need that. Unless, did that work as a link? No, it didn't. What the?
No, it didn't work as a link, but maybe I can search for that. RedactedArmsLLC.com?
Yeah.
Okay.
What the fuck is wrong with that? StreamYard doesn't want to let you buy forced resets.
Super Safety with cut trigger. So
this is based off the design Hoffman created.
So what does this do? Is it just a safety?
No, it's a forced reset.
Okay.
So, the reason everybody's supporting Hoffman and not supporting Rare Breed is because they've been suing the piss out of everybody. So far as during SHOT Show, they walked around handing out cease and desists, which is against the rules of SHOT Show. You're not supposed to do that. They also did it at the GOA convention. So,
so he designed something that may have a similar end result as their product, but does not function the way their product does, and they're trying to sue him over it.
Exactly.
As if they created the idea of the force reset trick.
Exactly.
Okay.
And you want to know a kicker? In this specific case, you know who wrote the judge a letter recommending that they do the injunction to side with Rare Breed? The ATF.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah. They sold us out, boys. So, if anybody's interested, there is a GoFundMe or Give Send Go for Hoffman Tactical. The goal is 185,000. They're at 162. So if anybody's
this is not bad, dude. You can get it for 150.
Yeah, that's the thing. The Rare Breeds are going for like 400 beans.
Most FRTs go for a lot more than 150.
And that's part of the reason Rare Breed wants a monopoly on it. That way they can upcharge.
Yeah, fuck them.
Yeah, you gotta stay up to date on your gun drama.
I have not been involved actively in gun drama for a while, so I honestly didn't even pay attention to SHOT Show about what was released at SHOT Show till like a week after SHOT Show was over, and I just went through
nothing great, man. I'll be honest.
I mean, the most interesting thing I saw was the PSA stuff. I think. Is that it? I can't really remember. There was a few things that were kind of cool, but I feel like we've hit a point in gun technology, and I remember talking about this a few years ago. I feel like we've hit a point in guns where there really isn't anything new. There's maybe cool new ways to do things that have already been done. But until we get that next leap in firearms technology, like, I don't know, a fucking phaser or something, like, most everything's been done.
Unless
you know what I mean?
Crack, caseless cartridges.
Yeah, there's got to be something. Yeah,
or laws change where we can get other stuff like full FA or like things like that, where that market then becomes open and they can iterate on that.
And even then, the stuff we'll be excited about isn't new stuff. It'll just be stuff we haven't been able to get before. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I feel like, and part of that's just, I don't know, fucking 15 years on YouTube of just talking about every single thing new that comes out all the time. Like, maybe I just got burnt out, so I just don't care as much. Maybe that's partly on me, but part of it is because there's not really anything new coming out. Dude, the last quote unquote new thing I remember coming out was the fucking Hudson H9, which was somewhat innovative. Granted, they clusterfucked that whole thing, and now it's who bought the designs for the H9? Who's selling that now? Fuck, I can't remember.
Daniel Defense.
There you go.
Which I kind of want one, because man, did I want a Hudson.
Dude, I saw one at a local gun shop, and I came real close to buying it because they had a Hudson H9. It was, I guess, the version 2.
The Daniel version, yeah.
It was like $650, and I was like,
"They're not that expensive."
Dude,
like,
they're really not.
Like $750, and I'm like, that's just nice Glock money. That's not even.
Yeah. I came close to like being like, maybe I should just, fucking buy. I didn't, but like, that was like the last really innovative thing. And honestly, it wasn't ridiculously innovative, but it was cool and it was new and it was different than what everybody else was
And it
doing.
was innovative at a price point that was still attainable. Like, it was not cheap.
Yeah.
It was like $1,200. That's not crazy money.
No.
Like, now, like, all the cool innovative stuff you see are like $5,000 race guns, and I was like, yeah, you're gonna make 40 of those and no one's gonna ever have them.
Yeah, and again, and there's not really anything new about them.
Yeah, like, some of them, I will say one, I can't remember which one it is. There's two like really high-end race guns that have gotten talking. One's called like the Rideout Dragon, and then one's called, I can't remember the other one, but it's actually like a not toggle lock. It's some weird mechanism. Like, it's not tilting Browning. It's not
Not the rotating barrel.
Not rotating barrel. Like, it's something
not blowback.
No, it's something weird, but it's like $6,000.
Yeah. It has been a long time, and it's very few and far between in the last few decades that we get anything in the gun market that's truly like new and innovative. Most of the stuff we've got, I mean, let's be honest. Look, I mean, we get fucking 50 new striker fired guns come out every fucking year, but I mean, striker fired guns, they've been around since the 1970s. We get 20 different new types of fucking 1911 coming out, or whatever, or we get the same gun with a new grip, and we put a fucking slide cut on it to take an RMR or whatever the fuck it is. And then for the last few years, the idea of modularity in pistols has people been treating that like it's a big deal, which I know we've talked about before. I fucking could give a shit. I don't want to swap my fire control unit out to I want two different guns, unless I live in a restrictive state. Like, that's the only reason I could think of you would want to swap out your fire control unit from gun to gun.
The only people that makes sense for is, like I said, restricted states or military, who are like, hey, I'm gonna order this many FCUs, but I was like, but I can also buy the grips for like $20 a pop.
Yeah.
If this certain, this platoon,
and then you can swap it out based on the needs of the unit or whatever. Yeah.
Like,
that
makes sense
makes sense.
that.
But for the average gun owner, like that, the fucking swapping fire control units, like, again, I thought the stuff that PSA showed at SHOT Show this year was cool, with the exception of that fucking, we could swap the fire control unit out of that, whatever that new fucking pistol line they're coming out with. And I was like, I don't give a shit. Like, the pistols look cool, don't get me wrong, but if I wanted two different sizes, I would buy two different guns, not fucking, so yeah, I mean, and I guess that's fairly innovative, but let's be honest, the swappable FCU, I mean, SIG started doing that with the P250 back in like 2010, 2011. You know what I mean? Like, it's 15 years old at this point. It's not new technology. So, and I'm sure there were, honestly, SIG was probably not the first one to do it. SIG's just the first one I remember doing it with the P250. But I'm
they
sure
were just the first ones to capitalize on it.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. What is this, Davy Jones? Are you happy your so has returned?
Your son.
My son? Oh, yes, Jollifer. Yes, always. I'm always happy when Jollifer's here. What is your opinion on Star Trek Discovery? Jesus Christ, dude.
That's whiplash right there, man.
God damn. My real opinion on Star Trek Discovery. I didn't hate the first season, although it did not feel like Star Trek. And I actually liked the second season, mostly because they brought in, Spock and a lot of other characters that I have a fondness for growing up on the original series. And I thought they did a pretty good job casting those parts and things like that. After that, it's complete dog shit. Like, season 3, 4, and 5 are all fucking horrible. Just god fucking awful. That's my opinion on Star Trek Discovery. So season 1 wasn't bad. I didn't hate it. I watched it. I was like, oh, okay, it's new, whatever, cool, interesting. Doesn't feel like Star Trek, but cool sci-fi show. 2 was the only season I thought was actually like good. So there you go. Just stop. If you're gonna watch it, just stop there. If you're gonna watch it, I'm not recommending anybody watch that fucking show. By the way, that's not. This is not a recommendation. This is just, you asked my opinion. I'm giving you my opinion. I don't think, other than Lower Decks, I don't think there's any modern Star Trek worth watching. Actually, that's not true. Lower Decks or Picard's only season 3. Only season 3. Don't watch 1 or 2. So, there you go.
Chasing Ghosts, are you okay? You said you got bit by a gator?
What?
Just scroll up.
What the fuck? I got bit by a gator this week. Luckily, I'm not a flip-flop trucker. Got my boot, pants, bruised my ankle, crawled out under my truck, startled it when I got out. Only a 4-footer. Oh, okay. Well, okay. Yeah. Well, we do. Look, I mean, we get gators in fucking Texas. I mean, I've seen alligator. I didn't see them like growing up in North Texas. I never saw them, but when I moved down to South Texas, we would see gators. I'm not gonna sit there and say we saw gators all the fucking time, like if I was in Florida or something. But I've seen more than my fair share of gators. When you get close to the coast down in Texas, you'll start seeing them. Most of the time, they're not very big. The ones that we get in Texas are not very big, and they usually don't fuck with people. But yeah, if you got out of your truck and it was under your truck and you scared it, it might. Yeah, it would have snapped at you. But yeah, it's a good thing you had boots and shit on.
Yeah. I saw a video. It was, I think it had to have been in Florida. It was some tweaker high off his mind on the side of a road on a little bridge, and he's like trying to be a gator whisperer, and there's like a 6-foot gator, and he's like doing his hands at it, and this guy's just filming, and at the end you see it grabs him by the calf. I was like, man, I feel bad, but also don't do drugs.
Motherfuckers out there in the world.
Maybe
was this in Florida?
Yes.
Yeah, of course it was.
I was like, maybe this is his inspiration to get clean, you know? Get off the meth, man.
Yeah. Stupid shit. Oh, chat. What else is going on? Chitty chat. We got 10 minutes left of this here show. What else is going on in the world other than people going trans and shooting up fucking places? Seriously, I feel like that should make sense to everybody. I mean, we use the term going postal for decades because of what? 2, maybe 3 times that there was a shooting in a post office. And then that just became a thing, going postal, right? For decades, for like 30 years. There's been way more than 2 or 3 trans shootings. I think it's time to retire the name going postal. It is now just called going trans. That makes way more sense, and there's been way more trans shootings than postal shootings. So, I'm just saying. Spread the word. That is now the official term for people going crazy and shooting up a place. They have officially gone trans. It is getting fucking ridiculous, though. It's getting fucking retarded. Oh, but it has nothing to do with blah, blah, blah. Shut the fuck up. I thought I explained it pretty well in that video, and I think that's what's going on. I don't know. Jolly, you tell me. Is that what it is? I don't know if you watched the video.
I didn't watch the video.
Fuck you, by the way, Jolly.
Well, I saw generative AI and I instantly barfed, so I didn't watch it.
That's because that's the easiest way for me to make fucking
I know.
thumbnails. It's quick and it's easy. I do it from my fucking phone. Anyway,
Was basically your
my
argument that
theory is that it is correlation that leads into causation. Some people are saying that being trans makes you a mass shooter. That would be causation. I don't think so. I think it's correlation that leads into causation. I think we're dealing with mentally ill people who 10, 20 years ago or more would have just been mentally ill people that may have gone on to commit a mass shooting. But because they're mentally ill, with today's society pushing trans ideology on people and saying to people who are mentally ill, if you feel bad about yourself, or if you feel depressed, or if you feel this or you feel that, maybe you're just trans. So you're pushing the trans onto people who are already mentally ill. And then once they're trans, you haven't cured their mental illness. So that's still there. And then on top of that, now, not just because they're mentally ill, although partly because the entire left is mentally ill, but also because that's just the way these things go on the left's ideology. You now have another reason to act out and give in to your mental illness, which is the trans issues. So it is causation, them already being mentally ill, being pushed by society and the left into becoming trans, which then leads into causation. They now have another reason to go psycho. That's how I see it. What do you think?
I don't disagree. There's, people who have issues and, like you said, get brought into the group, or they latch on to that group because they want to belong for whatever reason. And then and I think it's a double whammy of they feel more oppressed or more slighted because they are now part of that group. Yeah. But also now that they are in that group, there's a level of like being beyond reproach. You can't dare question what may be going on because they're this.
Yeah. I think that's where we're at. I don't know. And then on top of that, and Brian Knight just brought it up. I mean, when you start, you take somebody who's already mentally ill, then you bring them into a group where, like you said, they start feeling put upon and excluded and all these other things that the left shoves into their head. And then on top of that, they're taking all kinds of fucked up ass hormones their body wasn't made to fucking deal with. So yeah, you've got correlation that leads to causation. So I don't think people are shooting people up just because they're trans. It just so happens that's the easiest way for a mentally ill person to end up shooting up a bunch of people is if they take that fucking path. I don't know, man.
It's unfortunately become the path of least resistance for them.
Yeah, well, because it's the group. It's the group they can join that will be most accepting of their mental illness. I think that's what it is. It's I'm mentally ill. Well, people treat me poorly because I'm mentally ill. But if I'm trans, at least I know half the country will be on my side no matter what the fuck I do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll get some respect or sympathy or, fucking victimhood points, or whatever the fuck it is for being trans. Whereas if I'm just fucking mentally ill and fucked up, I don't get anything from anybody.
I also think because there's a huge overlap in like the LGBT, especially like hard trans side, and like I don't want to say sympathizing because you should be sympathetic to people with mental illness, but like like claiming as an identity. Like how many people who like are like, yes, I'm this whatever demographic. I'm Zeophonic, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
Some
whatever.
made up ones.
I'm a xylophone. Yes, you
I'm
are.
a xylophone.
Shut the fuck up.
But I'm also autistic. I'm also bipolar. Like, as they wear it as almost a badge of honor. I was like, okay, there needs to be a difference between me saying, yeah, you have ADHD and you have schizophrenia. Those are very different levels that need addressing.
Yep. Oh, God, I don't know. But here we are.
Yep.
Here we are. This is the world we live in now. Hopefully it won't be like this permanently, but for now, this is what we're dealing with. So, anyway. Well, it is about time to wrap this chitty chat up. I am going to be doing 2 chats tomorrow night. We'll do a geek chat for about an hour or so, followed up by another Guns and Geeks podcast. So I'll have 2 chats going tomorrow. Mañana. For anybody that wants to tune in for that, or Jollifer, if you'd like to join the show tomorrow night, unless you got a hot date or something. We'll be
we know I don't.
I don't know. I mean,
Look,
you don't talk to me anymore. I don't know. You could be getting your dick wet or something.
look, we need. You know what we need? We need to have an AR off between me and your actual son.
I'm sure you shoot more than he does.
No, because a few weeks ago, didn't your son like put together his first AR?
Well, no, it's been longer than that, but yes, he did put together his first AR. It's very much a KISS rifle. You know what I mean? Keep it simple, stupid. It's a basic build, but it's solid.
On it, I approve.
Yeah, it's a very basic, simple build, but very it's a good, solid build. So it's a good rifle. So anyway. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get the fuck up out of here. Appreciate you guys hanging out, watching. Appreciate the super chats. And Vulcan Rumble shows up right as we're leaving. Awesome. But that is going to do it for today. We will see you guys mañana for more chat goodness. Enjoy your weekend. And as always, deuces Joe. Shall not pee in fridge and all that good shit. The Shibanamana depressors and Batakath cares and I don't know. Apparently, we got aliens now. I don't know. That's a whole thing. We need to talk about that probably tomorrow. But all right, we're going to get out of here. We'll see you guys later.